In this video, we will show you how to use the Rodeo Revenue and Expense Tracker. The Rodeo Revenue and Expense Tracker is part of a bundle of software services from Rodeo Producer that also includes the Rodeo Volunteer Scheduler and Tracker. These rodeo software products are ideal for use by rodeo secretaries and rodeo office managers to help the ongoing scheduling and reporting duties of your organization's season. Let's talk about the Rodeo Revenue and Expense Tracker. It is a 100% web-based solution, meaning you can access it with any web browser on any device, including desktops, laptops, tablets, and smartphone. PC-based or Mac-based, it doesn't matter. And there's no software to download. It all runs off our servers, and all data is stored in our secure database, so you don't have to worry about a lost device or device dropped in a watering trough or backed over with your truck or left in the horse trailer. This reporting tool allows you to consolidate your revenues and expenses from various sources into one convenient place. It will require that you manually input the information. Once you do, you'll be able to produce reports for individual rodeos, consolidated for the full season, and specific vendor reports. Okay, let's get started. So from our top menu here, let's click Start. This will take you to the software login page. We will then enter the username and password that will be assigned to the account, and we will log in. This is a demo account, as you can see. Now from the menu, we'll go to Reports, Track Rodeo Expenses. If you wish, you can use this as only an expense tracker, although we believe there is more value in also including the revenues so that you can see a profit loss amount for each rodeo and the season. To set up a revenue source, first we click Add a Source, and then we would give the source a name, such as Competition Rodeo Fees, and we would save the source. To add a new revenue type, we'll click Add Revenue Type, and we'll give this a name. In this case, we'll match up the competitor fee revenue source with entry fees as the revenue type, and then we would submit the revenue type. So revenue types in this case could be entry fees, could be secretary fees, could be office fees, arena fees, stock fees. Now to add a specific revenue amount, we will click Add Revenue Line Item. We will select the rodeo. We're going to choose March. We will choose the source. In this case, we are going to competitor rodeo fees, and we will take the entry fees, and then we can add the amount. And let's just enter $10,000. All of the sources and revenue types are stored in the database and available for use in this rodeo as well as future rodeos, so you do not need to set these up again. We'll continue to add some more revenue line items, and you'll notice that the rodeo that we selected before stays consistent. So we can select the source, we can select the revenue type, and we'll put in an amount here. And again, these would come from external sources. Now, once we have our revenues entered, we can do the same for expenses. We would add a vendor, and there is a bit of detail here, which you can include as much as you wish, or simply to enter the name and then submit the vendor. We will now add an expense type and submit that to save it to the database. And then we will continue to add the rest of our vendors. Now, in order to capture all of the expenses, we will include a vendor, and that vendor business name will be Rodeo Prize Payouts, which of course is where we will capture that particular type of expense. And when we set up the expense types to go along with the Rodeo Prize Payouts, we can set these to align with each division or each event, however you wish to track this. And once you have all of your vendors and expense types set up, then we click on Add an Expense Line Item. The rodeo will be selected for us. We will choose our vendor. we will choose the expense type and we'll add an amount. And we'll save that and then continue adding expense line items. So now we can take a look at the built-in reporting that is available. We will click on generate a rodeo statement and it will generate our information below. For the March rodeo, we can see our revenues and we can see our revenue total. We can see all of our vendors and expenses and amounts, and we can see the total expenses, and we can see if we have ended up ahead or behind or broken even on this particular rodeo. You can, of course, switch between rodeos to see the statements for other rodeos. So we'll switch to April. And here we have the rodeo statement for April. Again, similar types of sources and types of expenses, and our total revenues and our total expenses. And so we have a net for the rodeo. Now, if we want to see that on a season basis, we can generate the season statement. And what this will do is consolidate all of the rodeos in our season. In this case, we have two of them, the sources and types and total amounts, as well as the expenses, vendors and types and amounts, total expenses, and our net for the season. We can also generate a vendor statement. And so we will select a vendor and we'll show the vendor report. And so here we are showing for the Walk Arena, we see the for the April rodeo, we see our arena rental and the total, and for the March rodeo, the arena rental and the total, and so the total then that we would have paid to this vendor over the season. And that is it. Again, for more information, you can go to rodeoproducer.com and see our explanation of this, and then click the Start button to set up your account.